The Switch 2 has officially been released. For those of you completely out of the loop, this is Nintendo's latest hardware. It is a brand new console called the Nintendo Switch 2. It plays all of the Switch 1 games, but also has new Switch 2 games with enhanced graphics and some other features. The only Switch 2 game that I have right now is Mario Kart World, and the graphical upgrade is actually a huge jump. It is a delightfully beautiful game. Now, as far as the hardware itself goes, the screen is much, much bigger. Unfortunately, it's only LCD technology instead of OLED technology, which I can talk more about later. But the hardware itself, fantastic. It's definitely much heavier, but it doesn't feel that big because it's still nice and slim, so it feels nice in the hand. The Joy-Cons now attach magnetically, which I don't think is that big of a deal one way or the other, but the actual physical size of them is much nicer. Like, it feels much nicer to hold and it's not so cramped. On the original Switch, I do like how small and portable it is, but it is definitely not as comfortable to actually play. But man, you can just snap these Joy-Con in. Oh, delightful. Delightful. And actually, the surprise star of the show for this new Switch 2 for me is the game chat feature. It's your regular voice chat, but it also adds video. But what makes it so nice is that it's built into the system so seamlessly and easy. You press this button, it brings up the chat interface, your friends join in seconds. It has a built-in microphone that can be across the room and people can still hear you. It cancels out all the other noise beautifully. If you have a camera, it's so much fun to see your dumb faces in there when you're playing Mario Kart. I did not expect game chat to be that big of a deal, but the way they implement game chat in this is so great. Every system needs to copy this. If you're coming from the original Nintendo Switch, released in 2017, it is going to be a huge upgrade. If you're coming from an OLED Switch, the screen is not going to be a huge downgrade, but it will be a downgrade. The cool thing about the Switch 2 is that it plays all of your original Switch 1 games, and some of them have actually gotten patches to make the graphics better. And then other games that just had like bad frame rates, the frame rate problems are all fixed. So especially if you're playing it on TV, it's a no-brainer to play on the Switch 2. But there's some games like Lunar Silver Star Story Remastered that ran just fine on the original Switch, and you might want to still play it on the OLED if you're playing handheld. The Switch 2, I would say, is 90% very exciting. I'm very happy with it. And the 10% that I'm unhappy with is the screen is not quite as good, and on at least Mario Kart World, the battery life takes a significant hit. So we're gonna see, but a very promising start, and Mario Kart World is a fantastic game. So Switch 2, is it worth it? $450. Probably not yet, but if you're the early adopter type, I don't think you'll regret this decision to get the Switch 2. Welcome back to the vlog. The new episode of Adventure Archives is up now at patreon.com/adventure. This time we return to Grayson Highlands, although this time we didn't have Thomas or Nicole, unfortunately. We definitely want to get Nicole back on an episode at some point, but just scheduling has not worked out yet, but hopefully sometime soon, because it is rapidly approaching like 10 years since we did that with her. Maybe not. I don't know, it's been a very long time. I think the episode turned out very well. Lots of fun shenanigans, plenty of cozy campfire stuff, horses, sweeping vistas. I think you will enjoy it. As usual, the public release will be out in a few weeks, but it really is the patrons who keep this channel alive. As I've discussed ad infinitum, these episodes take forever to film, edit, and write music for. And that is not conducive to becoming a big YouTube channel when you can only release one video a month. But having so many loyal, dedicated patrons, like many of you, makes it actually possible to do this. So thank you to patrons who are currently patrons, and thank you to any prospective patrons. It's just $2. We've never changed the price despite inflation or anything else, unlike everybody else under the sun. So it's a good deal. It's a decent deal. You pay $2 for a decent amount of stuff. In fact, you can watch all of the past bloopers, all of the past commentaries at the $2 level, and you only have to do it once. You can look through all of them if you wanted to. Anyway, the task for today. We've got a big trip that we're going to be filming in about a week. Is it just a week now? Yes, in a week. I'm not sure when it was, but it was a few episodes ago that we decided to start doing all of the shout outs only in the public release. So we have those weeks between the early release and the public release to film and edit any of the shoutouts. That way, we're not rushing to get the early release out just because the shoutouts are the only thing holding it up. And about 2 episodes ago, I decided to start going to Brian's house so that me, Brian, and Andrew can film the shoutouts in the same location. It's just so much easier to film those when you're all together and one person can operate the camera and you can come up with ideas together.
Hey, everyone. Oh my god. Oh, sorry. Okay.
And anyways, we filmed the shoutouts, now I just gotta edit them. And while I was there, we recorded episode number 44 of Campfire Chronicles. We started this year releasing those once a month on the 15th of every month, without fail so far. And we will release another one on the 15th of June, which is this month. If you've not been listening to those, you can find those on any of the podcast services. I think you just search in iTunes or Spotify. It's on all of them, I think. It is not exclusive to patrons, but any of the questions that we answer on the episodes are exclusive to patrons. So anybody can listen to it, but if you want to ask a question, you have to be a patron. I think they're pretty entertaining. I'm an avid podcast listener, so I know what I think is a good podcast. And we're not a bad podcast, we're not a great podcast, but we are a good podcast. I will say I am mildly ashamed of our production quality. I still don't know how to make a good remote podcast. I know I need to start getting the other guys to record with mics and then taking that audio and editing it together, but it's just so much easier to record the video call. And then that results in me having pretty good audio quality and then everybody else having robo quality. But the first step towards a good podcast in my mind is you gotta have good audio quality. It is not that difficult, and I'm doing a C- job of that right now. However, the other traits of a good podcast are you don't waste my time for 5 minutes at the beginning of the podcast talking about something that nobody cares about. I don't want to hear too much banter between the hosts talking about things that only they know about. 2, I don't want the hosts talking over each other the whole time. Usually I'm the worst offender at this, but I think we've gotten much better. And then 3 is actually the meat of the topics. Are you talking about things that are interesting, and are you giving some new insight that I didn't have before? And I think we're doing okay on that. In fact, I think that's probably where we do best, but I don't know. You tell me. So we restarted the podcast this year after like a 3-year hiatus. And I felt like the first priority wasn't getting the production quality like at maximum levels right away, or even getting the podcast content itself at maximum quality right away. It was just to find a rhythm of the right frequency of podcast and the ease of recording to where we all can actually participate once a month. And so far, I think that's working out. So now that we've got that taken care of, I can start working on the production quality and then doing even more to make the actual meat of the podcast more entertaining to listen to. Oh, that's something I didn't mention. I don't like these rambling podcasts that have no structure whatsoever. I'm sure it feels really good for the podcasters to have those conversations, but as a listener, I need a little more structure. I need you to have some actual topics that you're talking about, some actual questions that you're answering, and a little bit more of a structure that I can grab onto, because I don't know you people. But to that end, starting with the first episode this year, I made outlines. I've got all the questions anybody's asked us on the podcast ready to go at any time. And then I make a new outline every time we finish an episode. And then as we get questions, I add to the outline. So I feel very good about the production process of the podcast. Now it's just actually going about making it entertaining. And don't get me wrong, I think it's already pretty entertaining, so it's definitely worth a listen. Once a month, hour long, Campfire Chronicles. Find it, listen, enjoy. But that will do it for today's vlog. Thank you very much for watching. Patreon.com/adventure. The new episode is out. It's 2 hours long. Nice meaty chunk. Get that for $2 or more. Also, on that 4 states solo video that I made, at the very end, I posted a link to my buddy Brendan's GoFundMe page. If you didn't hear, he got a rare form of salivary gland cancer. And my goodness, after posting that link, you all came through like gangbusters for Brendan. So thank you very much. And he wants to thank you personally. But you're gonna see that in 1 second. But thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Welcome to Stone Age Gamer. This is the Stone Age Gamer himself. Hold on, we gotta get some old games in. You hold GoldenEye 007, I'll hold Mortal Kombat Trilogy.
We were rocking these last night too.
Doesn't hold up.
Does not hold up.
GoldenEye 007.
Garbage. Oh my god.
Not a very good
This was a
game
heartbreaker for me, honestly. I remember loving it so much.
We still had a good 10 minutes of fun.
Yeah, we had fun, but man.
Not in a...
How did we ever run around with one joystick?
I don't understand how we played it on a small TV.
This
you played on this.
This is twice as big as anything we ever had as
bigger
kids.
than any TV we had as a kid.
My eyes are bad now.
Yeah. And then Mortal Kombat Trilogy.
That one held up. That was good.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically the same. It was
it's
never
just a
that
fighting
great of a
game,
game,
yeah.
but
I mean,
yeah.
But man, the controls.
Huh.
Who remembers Odd Job crouching? Because that's not a thing. Swear I remember being able to crouch with them. There was no crouch button.
Well, you know what's funny too is I always thought of Oddjob as being so low that you couldn't shoot him, but I felt like I was just shooting you in the head the whole time.
Yeah,
instead.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
I swear to God, I swear you could crouch.
I don't know. We should have Googled that beforehand. We'll Google it now.
I'm Googling it.
Well, what was another? Oh, Killer Instinct Gold. That was great. Like that was better than we expected, right? That was fast.
You guys will have to see my impressive button mashing on video later.
Which game was it that you put the controller upside down to button mash?
That one.
Oh, this one.
But back in the day, I had it on a different system? No, it was only on that
No,
one.
it was only on this.
Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. Yeah, I remember. So it says, yes, see down.
What the- I
We did that.
Don't do the AI overview. I want to see a real website.
Press R and the bottom C button to crouch. Two button crouch. I don't remember
To
that.
borrow a word from the modern lingo, that's sus. I am suspicious of this information. Anyway, Brendan would like to say thank you to everybody for donating to his GoFundMe page.
It's been a crazy year, and I cannot thank you all enough.
Show them your scar.
It's also a bald patch from my 33 rounds of radiation, but the scar
Oh,
is, where is it? Yeah,
I didn't even notice the bald patch.
yeah, the bald patch. So here's
let me
the
see the
scar.
other side. Oh yeah, you are missing a beard there. That's funny, huh?
Yeah, so it used to be a little bit more prominent.
Uh-huh.
It's just starting to kind of fill back in right here. But it was like a solid circle of baldness before. It was like really easy to see.
Wow. Huh.
But yeah, like the scar is crazy. It goes, because it started here, down around my earlobe, up and down. And they had to like flay me open to get under the nerve or whatever.
Did they cut through bone, or how does that work?
No, they had to get to the nerve and not cause stroke face. So it's like they had to come in from under it or whatever, rather than just going straight into where it was.
Okay.
Because this is where the tumor was, right here.
Okay.
But they had to cut all of that and then like
And what is the medical name for the type of cancer?
secretory carcinoma.
And it was on a salivary gland or something?
It's like the secretion.
Oh,
the
secretory.
secretory. So it's super rare, but it's in the saliva gland. It's actually like a type of breast cancer because it's the same sort of secretory gland
Tissue.
that would be in like your breast or whatever, like a mammary gland or whatever. So it's like that type of cancer or whatever, but in my face, which they just first diagnosed it in 2011 or 2010 or something. So it's like nobody had information on it. It was really scary, especially before we knew everything, because the Mayo Clinic had to do additional testing to identify the actual type of cancer, the type of saliva gland cancer. Some of them are so scary, and I didn't know what I had.
So you were just waiting.
Oh my God! Don't Google stuff, basically. But like the one I was scared about is like, it's rare, just like mine was or whatever, but it goes up your nerve and into your brain, and it's like 30% survival. Like, gah! So until I found out it was this one, totally freaked out, and still like no doctors knew what to do, so they were like punting it to someone else to decide how to handle it and all that stuff. And the whole time, like, I'm totally like stressed and exhausted, and your gifts and kindness and generosity really made it possible for me to not
thank you, because I
lose my home, lose my car, like any
was
number
like,
of
I'm
things.
gonna post this on this video, but I can't guarantee anything's gonna happen. Like, people just like
Immediately, and still,
Gangbusters.
I just got another donation from someone I don't know. Anytime someone like completely unknown, I assume it's someone
Video?
from you,
Yeah.
and especially like there's just like after you posted, it was consistently like everyone before that I could identify.
Yeah.
Like friend or family, my wife's friend or family, something like that. But a bunch of strangers started donating, so
bunch of very kind
thank you all
strangers.
very much. It's helped me survive, and I'm now trying to start my own business as a handyman because working for $20 an hour for a company that doesn't give about you is not a way to live.
No. That's rough.
Having cancer and just adjusting my priorities. I want time with my family. I want to be able to pay my bills. I want nothing else. I don't want a bunch of money.
We were just talking about that.
I don't want things. I just want time with my family and to not have to stress about, feeding them.
Right.
So I greatly appreciate you all. I do plan on having a thank you party eventually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's gonna.
At the very least, I will go there and vlog it
Yes.
for people who can't.
Yeah, I imagine not everyone will. I
I'll be
appreciate the generosity, but I don't expect everyone to show.
I'll take extra brownies for every person who donated. I'm like, sorry, that's our brownie. That's our brownie over here, boy.
It's Adventure Archives property now.
Yeah.
But once I have that stuff planned out, I'll let you know. And,
Yeah.
that would be fun too. Vlog it.
That would be cool.
Great.
Yeah.
But I just want to, share thank you and show my gratitude for everyone who was so kind to give this mediocre white dude a helping hand.
Good times, good times. Yes, thank you, everyone.
Thank you so
Yes.
much. Appreciate it.
Yes. All right.